If you're familiar with spreadsheets like Excel and Google Sheets, you may have used the VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP functions before. But you might have realized that you are basically performing the same operation as a database join. In this video, I'll show you how XLOOKUP works, why it's essentially the same thing as a basic join, and how you can create that join in a database. We'll use these two tables as our example. The one on the left contains a list of orders, while the one on the right has information about products. Each order only has one kind of product, but can have different quantities. We want to compute the total for each order. The result will be another spreadsheet, which will look like this. The orders and product sheets have some data in common, which allows us to link products to orders. To compute the total for each order, we have to look up the product in the products table, get its price from the price column, and then multiply it by the entry in the orders quantity column. And that is what we need to specify when using XLOOKUP. First, the value to look up, then where to look it up, which is our product ID column, and then once we found it, what to return, which in our case is the price column. XLOOKUP now scans the column for the product ID value we want until it finds a match. Once it has found it, it then returns a value from the price column in the same row as where the match occurred. And this is the result of our function call and gets inserted into our totals sheet. We then multiply it by the order's quantity to get the order total, and repeat this operation for the second order and then for all the remaining ones down the list until our table is complete. In a database, the same operation we just performed is done with a join. A join works basically the same way as XLOOKUP, but operates on the entire table at once. But under the hood, it looks up each row in the orders table, just like XLOOKUP. Here you have a database with the same tables as in our spreadsheet example. We'll first use Metabase's question editor and then look at how to write this join using a SQL query. Here we're picking the two tables to be joined on the left, orders and products, and then we define how to join them on the right, which is done by comparing their respective product ID columns. We can then create a custom field that multiplies the values in the quantity column of the orders table by the price in products. And we end up with the same result as using XLOOKUP above, except now coming from our database. This visual editor is great, but the native way of talking to a database is SQL. Our query looks like this in SQL. It consists of three parts. First, we select the relevant fields from the orders table, like order ID, quantity, and so on. Then we multiply the price value by the quantity and call it the total. And finally, we create a join using the left join statement and specify which fields have to match. In our case, they're called product ID in both tables. There are other types of joins, but we're only covering what's technically called a left outer join here. So just like with XLOOKUP, our join is defined using one column each from two different tables, and we're selecting the values we need to then process further. Where databases really shine, of course, is more complex operations or much larger amounts of data. But the goal of this video was to show you the basic principle of how a join works, and that they're really not all that different from what you might have already done in Excel or Google Sheets. We have more materials on our website for people who are familiar with spreadsheets and want to learn more about databases. You'll find links to them in the description below this video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.